Get your mom. Get your mom.
Maybe later.
There we go. They're recording. They're recording and porting. How's everyone's day?
Mixed. Could be better, could be worse.
I got to see a guy bring his hot rodded custom Model T up to the RV dealership today. And that was after a couple brought their teacup pig in on a leash, and it was just trotting around the store doing tiny little snorts for 30 minutes. So everybody that I work with now saw me just smile stupidly for 30 minutes straight because I couldn't really contain myself with the fucking pig in the store.
When you have an infectious smile, you have an infectious to be fair.
People are asking me about parts, and there's just a pig in the background, just rank. I'm just yeah, this is great. It's a fantastic Saturday.
What more could you want?
An epic Saturday, dare I say?
Epic mealtime.
Oh, that's a throwback.
More like throwing it back for the Lord.
Whoa! For the Lord.
Throwing back your dumpy for the Lord.
Sure, buddy. Sure. Do you want to introduce ourselves to the people who just heard us talk about the Lord like that? I'll take that as a no.
Everybody, okay. It's Markiplier here.
Hey everybody, it's Markiplier.
Yeah, welcome to. I've started a new podcast, Modular Components.
Markular Components.
Markular Components. Yeah, we're gonna rebrand the channel to just a Markiplier fan. It's terrible. Hi, I'm Buster. Over there's Boingo. Over there's Snow Cone.
We haven't started.
Over there is.
I haven't got a drink yet.
Buster.
Oh, you haven't got your drink yet. Oh, why did you bring in the weasels?
Dr. Kelp? Why did you bring in the weasels?
Yeah. Because Buster asked me to.
That's right, Buster did ask you to.
I thought you would do it after the drink. Let's just go get the drink.
Chris, how dare you?
How dare I?
Right now, you piece of shit.
How dare you confuse me? How dare you give me slight inconveniencing?
How dare you inconvenience Buster by doing exactly what he said the moment he said it?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
You mean I, the person with literal thinking, did the literal thinking thing? How dare I?
I'd rather you have some figurative thinking.
Figurative? You know what? I'll figure your butt.
Whoa! What? Yeah, he's not being the allegations, folks.
Oh.
All right, I'm getting a root beer.
Who uprooting their beer?
Jorking.
So what video games on the docket today, Code?
I'm on Astroneer right now. We'll stay on. I got on it, my friend Gage, and then I saw the message from Chris, and I was like, oh, whoops.
Whoopsie. I mean, when I add members, just assume you're included, okay?
Oh, I don't have notifications.
Oh, dang. Well, we learn something new every day.
I think I do for some of them, including when you do that.
Yeah.
But I also just have my phone on vibrate at all times.
Yeah. I do it too, but I actually check what the context of the vibration is, which is a weird thing to say, but.
Well, I wear headphones when I game, and I'm usually talking to a group of people while having the audio directly to my ears.
Yeah, talking to gamers. Yeah.
Fellow gamers.
My fellow gamers. Yeah.
I saw a Dr. Phil ad for Fortnite.
Oh my god, I'm gonna krill myself. No, that's I like Fortnite, but I don't like Dr. Phil. You know?
Yeah, it was odd.
Yeah, it's like you're cool. It's like the teacher meeting your parents at the grocery store. It's like, well, these aren't supposed to come together.
I found out my job wouldn't be paying me.
Your job was what?
And instead the 25th.
Oh, is that sucky?
I mean, yeah.
Oh, dang.
Could go that long without a check.
Yeah. You got Hi-Fi Rush, right?
Yeah, I think I should be able to get right there.
It's like 10 hours, so prepare for that.
Oh, that's not it.
Yeah.
I will one-shot game.
Yeah. Any difficulty works, by the way. I don't think I mentioned that on Analytical Fanboys. Any difficulty works.
So my next pick's going to be H-Doom.
No. That's like a hard version of Doom, right?
Yeah.
Oh.
No, it's the hentai version.
That's funny. I thought it was just
Chris will know. I'll come back and say H-Doom. And
I'm here to
I think
call
Chris
you
is already here.
bitch.
Yeah, Chris is already here.
Chris, you love H-Doom, right?
What?
See?
H-Doom. It's apparently like Doom, but pornographic.
Yeah, it's hentai Doom.
Yeah.
Why are you bringing up hentai Doom?
We were just talking about games, and I guess he just did it as a non sequitur.
More like a non-succudor.
Yeah, baby.
Good job. Proud of you.
You shouldn't.
No Proud.
No
No
Pride.
loud.
No Pride of the X-Men.
No cops at Pride.
No Cops of yeah, good. That's a good thing. I think. You know.
Hello everybody. It's Modular Components. The semi-weekly. There's 1 week we don't do it. We do a different show that week. Don't worry about it. Podcast where we hang out, we talk, and it seems like it's going to be for the next couple weeks. We freak out about an animated series.
Yeah. Specifically X-Men 97, because oh boy, it's getting good. Like, it's already good.
Introduce yourselves.
Like, oh, I'm Buster, the guy who says X-Men 97 is really good, like everyone else on the internet. Hi.
I'm the blob.
Oh my
The
god, the Blob.
The
I'm
Blob
such a
special
big
guest
fan.
star?
Part of the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants.
Bongo,
That's right.
you're really terrible at getting guests, you know?
What? Come on, he is a fine business owner. He owned a bar on Krakoa.
Okay, you know what? Maybe he changed his ways. Welcome, Blob. Nah, that's no Cody. Or Cody, as we frequently call him.
Because that's his
Snowden.
name.
What's up to say?
Frequently.
Frequently.
It is often my name
Yeah. Except
It's
when it
often-
isn't.
When isn't it your name?
when it's your name.
Oh my god. Schnody.
We're not so different, you and I.
God damn it.
Let's get to X-Men already. So yeah,
So,
we're halfway through
we
the
talked
season.
about Motendo last week.
Yeah, Motendo
my
was
gosh.
last week, and I was like, yeah, it was a fun episode. Enjoy that fun while you can, guys, because episode 5, which is the halfway.
It was only
Season.
half of a fun episode. Remember, the second half was Life Death Part 1.
Oh yeah, Life Death Part 1. Well, we're getting the continuation of that next week, and that was more like a taste of like, it's like, yeah, okay, you know, that's pretty dramatic stuff. But compared to episode 5, oh boy, you know.
Yeah. A very good episode.
Yeah,
Of-
like I kind of got like I'm grateful I didn't get spoiled on like the major thing that happened at the end. So oh, by the way, we're spoiling X-Men. So if you haven't seen it, go watch
Yeah.
it because it's good. But yeah, so like I'm glad. Like the only thing I got spoiled on was the Watcher, and I was like I wasn't sure of his full context. So I was just Cody just posted, "Hey, look, the Watcher's in," and I'm like, "Yeah, that's pretty cool."
I
you know?
posted the context, or I posted the Watcher because I knew it wasn't actually a.
Yeah, but it's also like, to an extent, it is a spoiler because
Yeah,
like, the
I
Watcher
didn't think
only
it would
shows
be
up.
at first because of how the episode was going. To be fair, because that's like kind of halfway through it.
Yeah,
Actually, I think that's right before Cable walks up.
yeah, but like, the Watcher only shows up with very important big things. For example, he showed up at the Coming of Galactus. I think he showed up during Avengers Disassembled, and yeah, he only shows up when it's big important things, and he showed up this week.
So wait, did we ever see Genosha in the original '90s show? I know it got mentioned a couple
Yes,
times.
no,
Yeah.
it was a plot point several times, but they only did what was Genosha at the time, because remember, this was in the 90s, so it did the original idea, which was using mutants for slave labor,
Yeah.
and then
Oh yeah, I
freeing
remember
the
that
mutants and
episode.
making a country. That was all that happened with Genosha at the time of the cartoons airing.
Mm-hmm. But now they're doing like a more modern approach, like Law of the Show.
Yeah, they're taking stuff from well after the era of the cartoon, because the cartoon's very firmly in the Jim Lee era of the X-Men.
Yeah, or Chris Claremont.
No. Claremont
no.
was at the very beginning of the Jim Lee, but he left.
Ah.
Claremont's very like 80s.
Gotcha. I just Claremont I know is the most like popular old depiction of the X-Men, so that's why I asked.
The eras of the X-Men, as far as I'm aware, and people can correct me if there's more distinct ways to talk about it. There's the original era, which is with the 05. Then there's the Giant Size era, which is Giant Size on for a little bit. Then the Claremont, then Jim Lee. Then we'll go with all new Grant Morrison era. And then it is after that. There's a little bit of a lull because that's the Whedon and Brian Michael Bendis stuff. And then we're in the Krakoan era.
Yeah, with that started with Hickman and is about to end with who's writing X-Men still?
It's a group of people kind of like spearheading the end. So it's Al Ewing, Dugan, and one other person.
Yeah.
I
Point is,
can-
they're taking from like they're taking from like all sorts of like
Yeah.
mostly modern stuff. And yeah, I do really dig this episode. Like it was nice to have like just a bunch of character moments at the beginning, and like that which made the ending all more impactful. But we'll get to it. Like it's nice to see Nightcrawler again. Like Gambit. Oh, we'll get to him. But like Rogue and Magneto's relationship was nice to see like expanded on. I love the scene of Cyclops and Jeans, the jeans. Dare I say?
Yeah. This is one of the best fucking showcases for Gambit as a character.
Oh, all right. Let's pull off the Band-Aid.
Well, we haven't heard that much thoughts from Codester.
Oh,
other
yeah.
than it good.
Yeah, it No, I mean I really enjoyed seeing Nightcrawler. I enjoyed the little cameos here and there, just
Yeah.
seeing stuff like that.
Like Glob Herman.
Yeah. I don't know. Some of this is kind of hard to. Some of that stuff is kind of hard to put into words because it's a very good feel, very bad feel episode.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
very,
Because
very strong emotional episode. And I am a person who does enjoy those kinds of experiences. Enjoys an odd word, but
you engage with it well.
yeah.
Because now we can dive a little bit in spoilers.
But yeah. This episode, it builds its characters with like no action scenes for a reason. Because like up until this point, the entire show could still be for kids. Dare I say? Or like it's very like not sanitized. What's the word I'm looking for? It could air on the Disney Channel, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, there's like political things, but it's like that's nothing too harsh. Then the last 10 minutes or 5 minutes of this episode happen, and characters are just dying in this massacre, and it's bloody, and it's like, whoa, and it's like
You could call it a mutant massacre.
yeah, that's what I called it. I called it the Mutant Massacre in like some tweets.
Well,
And it's
there's literally a storyline called Mutant Massacre.
oh, is this what it's inspired by?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. And
Two major storylines. We'll get into that in a bit.
yeah, because Cable does show up before all the shit goes down, which is pretty cool. It's like, hey, Cable. It's like, oh god, oh, no, and it wasn't able to stop it. Damn. So point is, like all this shit happens. Gambit gets his big heroic moment. And then Magneto's moment. Oh god, like everyone gets so many good moments throughout this. And I'm glad they didn't do this in the first episode because I feel like with a lot of revival properties, it's very tempted to just like kill off a character, like show like we're not like the other things. But no, they waited till episode 5 because they wanted to like give you a sense of lull and then be like, bam, this is what like, and give you like build up to that sense. It's not just, especially for new viewers who are just jumping in, you know?
Yeah. I was very hyped for the show, and I watched it by myself first. I have a weird feeling with it now because I watched it with and she. I don't know. I didn't like warn her of what happens. Madison did ask directly, like, "Oh, does Gambit die? Does Magneto die?" And I said no because I don't like to spoil anything for anybody because I'm the type of tough blind. But Madison is the exact opposite stuff, well aware. And Madison got very upset with and doesn't want to continue watching it because she doesn't like seeing her like favorite characters brutalized. She's done this with a lot of stuff. Like there's like animes and stuff like that. A character will die and she'll like I'm done, which is rough. But I don't know.
To just remind her that there are two major characters in the show who are time travelers.
Yeah, and the
I know,
X-Men
and
are very known for resurrection, so
I said all that, but yeah, I mean, like I was like, well, you know, this is kind of one of those things, but I don't know.
it also
And-
like the entire concept of the Mutant Massacre made a line Magneto said earlier in the episode hit harder, where he was like, someone was like, why would we want a terrorist running a country? It's like, why do we let the runners of country be terrorists? Well, that one really good line,
Yeah.
and it just made it like, oh, that was foreshadowing. Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of little great elements with Magneto in this episode.
Yeah,
And like every major character gets like a really good moment. The only one I think doesn't have a top tier moment, which is like understandable. It's pacing and everything, is Beast, but he has that fun scene with the reporter. Because also that reporter and Beast dated in the comics.
Oh, that's why they were.
That's why he
Oh,
was
and
all
then-
blushy.
Yeah, they both were.
Yeah.
But like also, like Beast still had like his moment of like, oh, he was turning on the TV and being horrified. Just so he's still like, it's
Yeah.
and it really like does it makes the
Hank's always,
social. Oh, sorry,
yeah, Hank's gonna be upset. Oh, I was just
Yeah.
Hank would be upset at that, no matter what.
Yeah,
I mean, all the X-Men are visibly upset.
Yeah, but like we see Beast first because I always associate Beast as the most like pleasant X-Men, if that makes sense.
That's hilarious. Just been reading the recent comics.
Oh yeah,
like they fixed it now. They fixed it now, but it's like Jesus.
Well, like the classic depiction of Beast is the most pleasant X-Men. You know,
for people who are unaware, basically, Beast turned into Henry Kissinger.
Oh God!
Yeah. Here's the thing. So in the comics, Mutant Massacre is a storyline where they killed the Morlocks.
Yeah,
people
and a lot
go
of Morlocks died in this.
Went into the sewers and killed Morlocks. That's what that storyline was. And then there was a later one during Grant Morrison's run called E is for Extinction, and that's where they destroyed Genosha.
Oh, so they're like combining.
So they mixed the two of them.
Yeah, because a lot of Morlocks die in this one, which honestly, I'm grateful we had that episode too. With like that basically was a Morlock focus episode, or like really gave you like a sense of the plight, and like it does like sorry if we make it political. The political commentary here, I hope they don't bungle it by the end, but like it's really strong of just like the endless cycle of bigoted violence and like how like that kind of shit, like people are just so hyper focused on being scared of these people that they just put so much resources into harming them and like giant robots and shit. It's like it's not like, again, it's never going to be one-to-one with the real world, but it hits hard enough where it's like, oh, they like this kind of behavior is still common, and it's and it really hit me, especially like hard given recent events. I don't want to get too into it, but yeah, it just like I'm glad the show decided, especially being under like it decided to use the already mass appeal it has to kind of like tell that message, you know. And yeah, and I'm still grateful like anyone can still enjoy the show. I did like say, oh, this wouldn't air on the Disney Channel, but like it's still I think anyone can understand and empathize and enjoy the show, you know.
Let me put it to you this way: like I would say, you could sit down like a 7 or 8 year old with the original cartoon and maybe the first few episodes of this. I say this is definitively something you need to like. They need to be a little bit older. You need to have a conversation with them. A kid can still watch this episode.
Yeah.
As kids, we watch just as much fucked up shit.
Yeah.
But you need to talk through a kid to help them understand and process media, you know?
Yeah. Well, that's just good parenting in general. And so many parents, they just put their kids R-rated or PG-13 movies and just like they don't try to like help them through their emotions. It sucks, man. Or they just like it's also just why you need like friends just to like help to bounce off like stuff. Even outside of the think of the children. It's like the just like having people like us to just talk about the episode with is healthy to like fully understand what they're going for, you know?
Yeah. There, and like a lot of people, I've seen some reviews and I've seen some people talk about it, and I've seen some exploration of what is everything in this episode. Like the showrunner who was let go, fired, however you want to describe it, did release like a statement after the episode aired, and it's like, hey, this is the point we wanted to get across with this, of like the first few episodes were fun, they were nostalgic, they were like you were back in the 90s, and then 9/11 happens. Like he purposely evoked, yet 9/11 happened, and you can't live in that mindset anymore. You have to actually understand and recognize and confront the harm and the danger. And he also brings up the fact that he is a gay man who went to Pulse in Orlando.
Oh.
And like he wasn't there at the shooting, I don't think, but like it's that kind of, these are things that happen to us and we need to confront that kind of thing. And the X-Men can confront it because they're heroes. They can be in the fray and do good and help and be an example of that, you know? But also they are heroes. They're a little bit more invulnerable, even though we see what could be 2 deaths. However, there are theories of one of them not being as harsh as it could be.
The Magneto one or the Gambit?
Magneto.
Magneto isn't really like a. I think the Magneto one he didn't really like die. Like Gambit is a definitive. Oh, that guy's cooked. Oh, but like
that man cooked himself.
Yeah, he cooked himself. Oh, but that moment was like they pull out all the animation stops for this. I still stand by. This is one of the best looking animated shows currently airing. Like
it
in the
does
last,
look really good.
yeah, like just the art style, the little like techniques, just the when they pop off. And then Gambit's big sacrificial moment, like of just trying to save everyone, really put it there. And someone made, I think I shared this in your Discord server, Boygo. Someone made a really cool G Gundam homage about that scene.
I don't remember.
I did share. Oh, I did not. I'll share it with you. But yeah, it is like it's yeah. This like it's really good that like Gambit got this like nice little arc. I am sad to see him go, but I you know like he got his big dang hero moment, and I'm grateful for that.
I'm still thinking they're gonna do some time travel shenanigans.
Yeah, or they're gonna like because. Wait, question about I am way behind on Modern X-Men, Boygo, so please forgive this dumb question. Does Krakoa take place in the same area as Genosha?
No.
Okay.
In fact, there's an entire story arc. Jesus. There's a story arc that like happened during the event Empire. And the event Empire was a bunch of plant aliens came to Earth to try to take it over. Okay.
Yeah.
That's that premise.
Simple stuff.
And at the same time, Wanda's like, fuck, I feel really bad for all the things that happened to the mutants and for like decimating them and getting rid of their powers. So let me try and make up for that. So she went to Genosha and used the wrong spell and accidentally made a giant, like resurrected everyone on the island as zombies.
Oh.
And the plant alien showed up. And the X-Men showed up going like, oh shit, this is a very fucked up situation. And the storyline is literally called Plants versus Zombies versus X-Men.
Oh my god. That's amazing. That's it.
Is Crazy Dave there?
Crazy Dave?
No, I don't remember if they made a reference to him.
That's the name of the
yeah, the guy.
Guy Gardner.
Guy Gardner. No, the Plants vs. Zombies like old man you see on merchandise and shit. But yeah, man, I feel so sad for Rogue because like, both of her like fellas are like romantic interests. I think is the best way to put it. Are like both cooked or like are at least injured. So it's like Yeah,
I mean her main romantic interest is Gambit because she full on like that's the major like emotional through line for most of the episode until the gut punch of Rogue can touch Magneto and she can have that deeper connection, but she loves Remy right now, even though they cannot touch. What is her choice?
Yeah, you know? It's like it's very fascinating. And it's a good use of those powers for a dramatic storyline, I'd say.
Yeah. It's almost as if X-Men have been representative of disabilities for just as long, or maybe even a little longer than civil rights.
Yeah. Yeah, again, we've mentioned this like when we first discussed the show. It is very much like X-Men as a allegory for minorities can be multiple things. And yeah. And it's like and it can be done poorly as those multiple things, but like,
it can be done poorly in so many different ways.
Did you see that? Like, there was a poster trending on Twitter of the first X-Men movie, and it is like, eek. I gotta share it with you because it's like the tagline is so like, yikes, oof.
Yeah.
Like
yikes, oof.
Yeah, that's my catchphrase.
I mean, there's also like, here's the thing you may not know, Buster. Back in the early 2000s, there was a writer for the X-Men that a lot of people aren't the biggest fans of. Can't remember his name. He made it a thing. Mutants can't get AIDS.
Huh?
Like, it's just a thing.
Also, here's the poster I was referring to. The tagline that made me go, yikes, oof, is trust a few, fear the rest.
Yeah.
That's pretty bad. That's pretty bad.
It may also just be in reference to just the cover.
Yeah, where it's like, oh look,
Just
there's
the poster.
multiple allegiances, but it's
That is very like anti-X-Men though. Like
Yeah.
even within that movie, like it's funny.
Anyway, yeah, X-Men 97. We're halfway through the season. I can confidently say, get on this show, watch
Do it.
Do it, yeah. If it'll help you understand why people like the X-Men.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Yeah, because like my previous exposure, like this is really like the year I really got into like multiple X-Men like characters, not just Deadpool or Miss Marvel being retroactively considered an X-Men.
Oh, she's going to be in
yeah.
NYX.
Yeah, I heard. I will check that, but I still need to read her X-Men books because I am procrastinating. I don't hate the new direction. I just
They're good. They're good books so far.
Yeah, I heard they're good, and I need to I just need to sit down and read them. It's really like because previously my previous exposure to was like all the wrong spots where there was like I watched the New Mutants movie. I didn't like it that much. I saw like potential, but not good. I watched X-Men Apocalypse of all movies. It was mid.
Yeah.
I watched the first X-Men. I didn't really care for it outside of Wolverine scenes. And so it's like finally have Wolvie scenes. Yeah. I mean he's in a lot of the movie. Anyway, but yeah, point is 97 really got me like, ooh, these guys have the sauce. And I read a bit of Grant Morrison's new X-Men, and that's really fun, you know?
Yeah. Gonna get a double hit of Genosha shattering.
Oh yeah. I think that already happened. Was that the first arc of the
No. Don't think so.
I'll check where I forgot where I was in the book, so I'll check it up. But yeah, I do want to check that Nick's book out. And New York X, I think is the acronym.
I think it's just NYX.
NYX. Yeah, well, I'm just saying, the full title of, New York's X-Men, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. I don't like the reason they made Miss Marvel a mutant, but I'm not opposed to it, you know?
Yeah. I'm always gonna come at that from the mindset of she was always meant to be a mutant, and Ike Perlmutter was a dickhead.
Yeah, that's fair. It's still a weird you already have this character she already exists. Whatever. But yeah, sorry, just back on. Man, I gotta finish that Disney Plus show.
Magneto is the most hype he has been.
Oh yeah,
we thought he was hype episode 2. No,
but what? Man, they really pulled out all the stops of Magneto's redemption in this show. Where it's he does everything he does is to endear you and make you sure this guy means business, you know.
And they finally confirmed the Holocaust in because the 90s cartoon continuity.
Yeah,
it was, and I don't know. I that definitely had a lot to do with the impact of the.
Oh yeah,
it felt ever more strong. I don't know. It's just nice to be able to experience that stuff.
Yeah,
and not even hit you over the head with it. It is just 3 frames of the stripes and the star, and you're just yep, okay.
Yeah, it man, the show's so good. I made a joke where it's yes sir, I will overthrow the government and via Magneto action figure about what X-Men 97 makes me want to do after finishing an episode.
And it's also just what Magneto's been talking about and what everything that's going through. It's also reflective of what Scott blew up about in the interview of just what can we do to prove ourselves? What there's nothing we can do to make you accept us. Fuck off.
Yeah.
It's it seems hopeless at this point, especially given the situation. Do you think Scott's gonna do the Professor X Cerebro on the head X helmet thing?
I don't know. I do think he is going to. They're going to tap in some of the more militant Cyclops characterization.
Yeah, they've already kind of tapped into that in the first few episodes with him commanding everyone.
Well, no, leader is a different thing. He's militant. What I mean is he's very much no fuck humanity to an extent.
Oh,
I am going to protect mutant kind. If that means pissing you off, fuck you. Doesn't matter. These people need help.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That actually, like, I think that will flow naturally for this Cyclops from what I've seen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because he already got beaten up by the Executioner, like, in that whole spiel. And I feel like that might have gotten to him a bit to, like, lead to where, like, that point
And
is.
losing Nathan.
Yeah, losing his child, too. So it's like, yeah.
Have we all seen the teaser, the mid-season teaser?
Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
we have saw it on YouTube, and I was like, oh. Like, I let it play, because I usually skip YouTube ads, but I was like, oh, it's X-Men 97. Let me see what they have here. It's like, oh, they're doing that. Okay. I know some people were complaining because MCU or whatever, but guys, he's been in the show before. It's fine. I think as long as the show is good, it's okay for other Marvel characters to appear.
Now, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just got scared. I'm always scared for people to like do anything with Captain America anymore, just
Oh,
because I'm afraid that they're gonna like. I understand, like, I don't know. I'm always just afraid they're gonna like use Captain America as like
a
the
jackbooted thug.
yeah, like as a way to like fucking reflect like all the bad things, and I'm like, that's not supposed to be. And then anything close to the fucking Spencer bullshit, like burn it forever, get it out of here.
That got better by the end.
But still, it was still
No, you can't say it got better by the end if I had to endure it for like what felt like years. And then for the last issue to be like, oh, just kidding, the real life embodiment of Captain America, Ghost Steve Rogers, actually comes out of the Tesseract, and he beats up the other one.
Yeah,
And we totally didn't do this the whole time, even though we did make it actually technically the real guy, but we just changed that at the very end. We planned to do that, and we didn't do it.
Well, here's the thing.
fan
I will say
backlash.
this: Steve is a fun villain to have around.
I don't know.
He did okay. Let me explain it like
We have
this.
fucking U.S. Agent and Red Skull separately, both like on that kind of level.
Here's the thing: Red Skull is very obvious Nazi. U.S. Agent is what we'll call like the good guy who wants to do good and accidentally joins the cops. You know what I mean? Like they are.
You could just say a cop.
Yeah, but they're like it's not like an asshole wanting to abuse power. It's a person who has a narrow worldview who thinks I want to do good. How do I do good? Oh, I'll be a cop. You know, it's a narrow worldview.
So narrow cops there.
Yeah. Steve-O is very much like the charismatic contemporary alt-right thing, you know?
YouTubers.
He's a grifter.
YouTubers.
Yeah, but the problem is like my biggest issue with that is just it was too right. And too many people just immediately were yes.
Yeah.
Finally.
And also just like you didn't have
immediately people were on board.
Yeah, it was not a good time for that. I think it's just the timing and the way they did it. Like it's a conceptually fine idea, just the way they went about it was.
But them then choosing, I think the bigger sin in that whole existence was them allowing that Captain America because they changed the rules of the hammer to pick up Thor's hammer because he thought he was worthy.
Yeah, that was cringe.
Here's the thing: they changed the rules for that one moment. Like,
yeah, but fucking why even?
I know.
Why?
I'm not saying it's good.
Also, and then like also again, like immediately, like that just flips over into the white supremacy symbol, like full tilt. People will be like, "Oh, well, not really." It's like, yeah, but he is a Nazi, though. Literally, that's what you're writing is that character's a Nazi, and then he's wielding that hammer now. Which now, with all of that context, even if you didn't intend to, is a direct reference to like all the weird Nord shit that people like to bring into their white supremacy anyways.
Yeah.
But
no, I guess like
what I was trying to say, they do have used the character as a fun villain in a recent X-Men book. Where he was basically acting as like a false flag, and doing some things and being an asshole. And literally Steve's just going like, you fucking, I hate you. I hate that you exist. Fuck you.
Yeah, I get that. It's just his introduction was. But like the thing I wanted to bring up was, like, I feel like Vac, or the artist formerly known as Vac, made a video back when he made videos talking about Captain America that like I think is like topical for this, where like he's supposed to challenge America to be better instead of being America, if that makes sense. That's what I like in my Captain America. He challenges them, which I don't love what I've seen of Winter Soldier and Falcon. Like I think that show is a bit of a mess. like from what I've seen. But
The
like,
production was a mess.
yeah, but like, yeah, that translated to the show. But like, I could tell they had their heart in the right place. Like
Yeah.
with that, it just, you know, I understand why people like even just hate that show. But like, I understand what they were going for, even if I wasn't on board with the show itself. Anyway, but yeah, basically, Cap's coming into X-Men. I hope they do well. I feel like out of all the Marvel characters, Cap is the most deserving of a cameo in the revival '90s show because he was supposed to get one before Marvel went bankrupt.
Yep.
So it's like, you know, give him some more appearance. Give that version of Captain America more appearances. You know.
It also works because he dabbled in like Spider-Man and like the other animated films or shows at the time. And I've always loved that specific version of the animated Cap. I really hope they get a good voice for him. I'm
Yeah.
hoping for
Roger Craig Smith.
literally
Roger Craig
just
Smith.
is that who does Marvel vs. Capcom?
He's done like all basically most modern, like if you need a Captain America for a cartoon, he does that. Let me look up Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 voice actors. Captain America voice actor. Sorry, you're hearing all my clicks.
Let's all listen.
Okay. Captain America. Who voiced him? No, it was Brian Bloom. Does he still work? Oh, he still works. He wasn't some young. Oh, he voiced Captain America as recent as the Midnight Suns game.
Oh, that's neat.
Yeah, he was also in Ultimate Alliance 3. So yeah, bring Brian Bloom back.
Yeah, they might. They tried to get everybody else back.
Yeah, I don't know, like, because they usually try to do the '90s cartoon voice actors if they can. Oh, he also was in. He was in original Marvel vs. Capcom. Yeah, that's why I was referring to dumbass. He's point is, yeah, get Brian Bloom, Roger Craig Smith, get some good Cap voice actors in there. Yeah.
So that's I'm excited.
Oh.
I feel like that's a fitting that's a cool character to have with shit like this going on.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hoping again that it's gonna be like obviously yes that's why he would and not like
Yeah, like it fits in naturally instead of just being like, "Hi guys, I'm hijacking the show."
well yeah I don't want that either. I just want him to be there like because like back in those days whenever stuff would happen that would be of a certain scale like in Spider-Man or the X-Men cartoons whenever like a character like that would show up you'd feel like it was necessary. You're like oh
Yeah.
shit. Like, yeah, Blade is in the Spider-Man show. Of course he's gonna be here because fucking this is coming out. Watch out. What's up with that? Whoa.
Yeah. There's also just what I was about to say.
Nothing.
Yeah, apparently there's an element of things are going to be all right when Captain America shows up. You know.
Yeah, he's supposed to be like the hope in the midst of this terrible situation.
Yeah.
So it makes sense thematically for him to show up at least.
Like I'm just thinking of Daredevil Born Again.
Yeah.
When he shows up to help fight Nuke.
Yeah. Makes sense too. You know, at the very least, I was thinking about the what is that guy's name? Huntsman or whatever.
Executioner.
Executioner.
Yeah, the Executioner. He's very, very Nuke.
Yeah.
So yeah, it would work. I'm hyped. You know, it's hard not to be hyped.
Yeah. You know what else is pretty hype?
What?
Transformers 1. We're getting a trailer by probably the time this comes out.
Is that the one with G.I. Joe?
No, that's
the animated one.
Yeah, the animated one that's been in production for like 10 years. The one with Chris Hemsworth and Brian Thierry Henry.
Mm-hmm.
And Keegan-Michael Key Bumblebee. And they just announced they announced Steve Buscemi's doing a voice in the show in the movie.
Yeah, you better be Cub.
He's Duke.
He's Cub.
No,
G.I. Joe is not in this one, Chris.
Yeah,
I was talking about the crossover.
Oh yeah, the crossover. We don't know anything about it other than it's happening. It's like an early production.
Yeah, no doubt it's happening. They've always wanted an easy way to put both of their brands in.
Yeah, it's like
it's a cost saving thing at the very least to them. Seriously.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, they're doing it in the comics, so
yeah,
yeah,
and yeah, it makes sense. They've been pushing that for a while. And what I was gonna say, thinking.
Oh my god, that's dangerous.
Yeah, that is dangerous.
Be thinking.
I was just scrolling through a bunch of behind the voice actor stuff, and I just lost my trail of thought of what I was gonna say. It was gonna be
congratulations.
It was the G.I. Joe thing. I've seen a lot of people being like, I don't want to watch a G.I. Joe movie. I just want to watch a Transformers movie. And I'm like, I get it, But also, I think like you guys might like GI Joe if you gave it a chance. I don't know.
I
You
think
know?
it's always just worked well. It's always made
Yeah.
sense.
It's also just the general. We need to get the general audience on board of a GI Joe movie because, like,
We need to get them over.
yeah, when you get them over, yeah, that's
I
one
don't
thing.
think it's the general audience that's been the issue here lately. I
Yeah,
think
no,
it's the
because
general fucking quality of the films that's been the issue
Yeah.
to
that
not get
too,
people
that
on
too.
board.
Yeah, like the Rise of Cobra was mixed. I heard like it came out during like tail end of pandemic, and even then nobody wanted to see it.
Oh, you're talking about
Rise
Snake
of
Eyes?
Cobra, Snake Eyes. Yeah, why did I say Rise of Cobra?
I don't
I don't
know.
know.
Snake
And that
like
is
it was okay, but it's still kind of just like it like the whole fucking movie they just like
cock tease.
god damn it, like yeah, they just cock tease G.I. Joe and it's like why?
Yeah,
Why does it have to be a card sliding across the table all the time? Fucking stop, dude.
yeah.
Quit.
Just have the gang assembled and do some cool character stuff. You
Like
don't need. It's not rocket
I
science.
I understand that's been like a focal point of a lot of it. Like it's always been like a covert like military operation, but like only on paper or like at the very beginning of a show, and then like, all right, tune in next week when we fucking fly over the Statue of Liberty. Go fuck yourself. Like covertly though, watch
That
out.
yeah, that did
I did
happen.
find the biggest American flag though, but nobody knows who we are.
I'm
Anyway.
gonna press a button and it makes us invisible. Don't worry.
Also, Cobra Commander is literally on television like every other week, and he's threatening GI Joe. You guys don't know who we are though, so you don't just stop. Just don't
Yeah,
even just look at
just
this card.
enjoy
Don't pay
the
too much attention.
absurdity. Enjoy the absurdity. I think is like they're trying to make it too gritty when it should just
No,
like
yeah,
they should like play into the more exciting aspects of GI Joe.
I
And I
think
hope
I
this
hate that
movie.
shit. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just finishing up. You were saying.
No, just you hope this movie.
I hope this movie has the more leads into the more exciting and wackier aspects of GI Joe.
Yeah,
And like
I
it
was just
hopefully gets because like the classified toys are selling well, so I'm pretty sure that's like justified Hasbro enough to be like, hey, we should make more GI Joe stuff. So it's like, hey, if the classified stuff's selling well, and it's like try to get the general audience on board so the classified can sell even better, you know?
yeah. I think they're hoping for that. I was just gonna say I think the reason why that kind of cock teases me off so much is that it just feels more like I liked it in like the first couple of MCU films, but as the shaded when they started changing like the teasers and stuff like that, and I'm
They've
just so
become more cynical. They're more
yeah. See,
cynical now.
I got tired. Like that's the I already said this either this podcast or last, where it's like back in like the cartoon days, if somebody felt like if you felt like somebody probably should have been there, they ended up there. You know, it was never like, oh, who's the secret guy over here that nobody knows about? It's just like, oh yeah, well Captain America's around.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. I mean, the X-Men exist. We can't ignore them. We're just in a different thing. We're doing our own stuff in the shared world.
Yeah.
Instead
And
of
it's like
treating
I
it
think
like
that's part of the it's one part corporate shenanigans, another part hype culture and spoiler culture, you know?
yeah.
Because like they want to get the hype, they want to get the biggest buzz. Be like, did you see this character in the show? Whoa! You know, I don't know. I'm sorry if I'm sounding cynical. I like most of these things. I just don't like how they're treated. You know,
Mhm.
I don't know. I'm
Well,
sounding like a Twitter user. I should really get off that stuff.
to talk about how cool things are, a property actually being treated properly. I watched the entirety of the Fallout show.
Oh yeah,
Hmm.
that came out. I kind of wish they did it weekly because like I didn't watch it, but like I just feel like why did they drop it all at once? That's weird.
Yeah, well, you know what? I think it helps. I think that might also be like, well, I mean, Amazon just does that, but no, they
But
don't
they did
actually. They
they
totally
did
don't.
Invincible and Has Been Hotel weekly. Why is Fallout get the all at once treatment? I don't know. Did they just have no faith in it?
Maybe
No,
Bethesda.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think it might have more with the fact that like they just know that the people who like the fucking series are already used to sitting down for a long time, so they knew most of us would have that shit dusted in like 2 days.
Yeah.
Okay.
Um,
I gotta ask a
what?
question though, real quick.
Sure.
Apparently Hod Towers
Todd Howard.
yeah, that man.
That man.
Hod Tower said the show is canon.
Yeah, no shit. That's not been a secret like forever.
Yeah, it's
But
probably a
I've seen
side
some
story.
things that the timeline doesn't quite fit or
No,
something.
it fits. That That article where it's like, ooh, fans are thinking that this doesn't make sense. Like, no, like the whole it's about. Do we care about spoilers? Because it's like gonna
I
go
don't
right
care.
into it for me to talk about it. It's about Shady Sands. Shady Sands is in canon one of the main cities. It was in Fallout 1 and Fallout New Vegas.
Yeah.
And because of what happens in the series, they say it doesn't canonize it because of a chalkboard, but technically it's totally fine because Shady Sands did exist pre to the fucking thing that they had on the chalkboard. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, and
It
didn't like New Vegas fans say, "Hey, Sadie Sands is a bad idea anyway. Good thing it's gone," or
I
like
don't know
something
about
like that?
that.
Like
I
no,
mean,
not
it was a resettled settlement,
uh
with like up to 50,000 people, and they in the context of the show, they bomb it again.
oh
Uh,
oh.
so all the people dead,
I,
everything
I
you
I heard it out of
from the end
context.
game.
My bad. I heard it out of
Yeah,
context.
I mean, it's just like one of the like I don't know. I didn't have a problem with it in New Vegas or anything like that. I thought it was interesting though the way they
Hmm.
used it, and that's the long story short about Fallout. It's fucking fantastic. If you like shows, you'll probably like it. If you ever played a single Fallout game or thought you were ever kind of remote interested, it's right there. I think it definitely is like the best like adaptation of like a video game property. I
Mm.
have spent like thousands of hours playing Fallout, and they got all of it right.
Mm.
Literally all of it. Like some people are complaining that there's not this there, or like one thing's not mentioned. But again, just like with how like a character can move throughout Fallout, like you don't just get blasted by like every known thing in the universe whenever you watch a character. Like nobody knows about super mutants because they weren't all over the place, even though they're totally teased in like a single frame if you're insane enough. They like they gave a shit. They gave a shit, and like any notion that like that company doesn't like New Vegas or uh, just the city of New Vegas in general is completely wrong as well. And that
Well,
is so
see,
much
that's the
proven.
thing. I saw one post and it was like it was New Vegas and it looked derelict and abandoned. And I was like, I was seeing things about time. I was like, oh no, did they ruin this place that a lot of people enjoyed from the game?
Oh,
That kind of
well,
thing.
you talking about the last scene where you see it in the distance?
Yeah.
I don't think it's destroyed.
Okay.
I mean, it's like in Fallout, like, unless because it's not necessarily at night, it's at like sunset. So you don't see the neon lights or that now. I mean, it could be because of the way that like Fallout ends, because the strip is just like this like corrupt place that's ran by a very particular character, who spoilers is in this fucking show, but which is sick as fuck.
Wait,
There's
the I
yeah,
know the story of
yes,
New Vegas.
yes,
That
dude.
guy?
There's a flashback of like the very like the meeting of Vault Tech. And so it's like it's Vault Tech meeting with every motherfucking major company in Vault Tech lore, and like the the guy who's there to represent Robco is him.
Hmm.
And it like pans over, and like it's you just know it's a moment where everyone's like pointing at the screen like, oh, but they don't like beat your head over this shit with this, because like literally every illustration, every magazine, everything that could be a thing in the game, like it's kind of hard to convey because it really does feel like the games are the law. And so like it's not like, oh well, there could be other magazines that follow you. It's like, yeah, but we already have all of these magazines. Why not just use literally what they are? Like the fucking paintings you could find in the Fallout games. There's like the globe in Fallout 3 that you find in like most of the homes. It's just like it littered throughout like the area. All the vaults are 1-to-1 to the games. Like it's kind of insane. It truly is. And it's not just like Fallout 4. The aesthetics aren't just pulled from Fallout 4. They literally reference shit from the first game all the way to now. I don't think there's something that's not referenced for a game. I think even Tactics gets something.
Damn.
Yeah, I
And
think
that's
even
like
Brotherhood of Steel gets something. Like Vegas gets a lot. Like they're in California. The game is in California. Like it takes me and my friend Pat were talking back and forth because he's a big fan of New Vegas. I mean, New Vegas is my Fallout too, but he's a big fan of New Vegas and the NCR, the New California Republic, and they're not mentioned at first. And then we kind of find out why they're not mentioned, but then they kind of are then mentioned, and that they're gonna be a focal point of the next. But I mean, again, like the main Brotherhood of Steel character uses a specific gun, and it's the exact design from like Fallout 1 for no reason, just for fun, just because. And it does make sense for that type of Brotherhood of Steel character. And I don't know, like there's just like so many good moments, and like some people complained about the pacing, but and I think I could see that being fair, but for me, like the pacing felt completely normal because of how playing the games feel. Like because you could literally be doing something very serious and morbid, and it's like, holy shit, that character just died. And then turn the corner into something crazy or some crazy old motherfucker who's like held up in their house and you get to experience that weird character. Or, then there's some other like threatening thing happening. And it's just like you can't stop, you don't get to stop, and they even make a funny joke about it. The Ghoul character does. He's like, there's one thing you'll learn about the Wasteland. It's like there's always going to be some random bullshit that just gets in your way, and it's like, yeah, that's great. That's great. That's because they do it all right. They literally just do it all right. I don't know. It's hard for me to like not praise. I was so ready to be incredibly critical of this. I was ready to be checked out, especially because of how Halo goes.
Oh yeah,
Um,
Halo's just.
which was also Prime. Not the same director or writer or
I
anything
thought
like
that was
that.
Paramount Plus.
No, that is Paramount Plus.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah, you're right.
I mean, we
Well, never
all know
mind
the
then.
best Halo show is Red vs. Blue.
Yeah, I mean, there's also like other there's a Halo anime that's really
Oh,
good.
yeah, Legends, yeah.
Yeah, there's
There's
been some
better
good
Halo
Halo
shows.
media, and then just the non-existent.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, you don't see any like recognizable other than the one I mentioned. You don't really see anybody else. Like you're not going to see like the original Vault Dwellers, but like that's because even the story itself feels very original Fallout. There's a moment where the water chip busts in the main character's vault, and like you just see this guy come around the corner holding the water chip, and it's like the same exact design from Fallout 1 whenever you see the isometric item of the water chip breaking, and that's why you have to leave the vault. It's the same fucking thing. Like they have the other pit boys in the background. All the people laugh at the vault dweller, like they don't give a fuck. It really is something. Like it's honestly surprising. Like refreshing is like a word way down the list because everything else, man, I was so ready to hate it or just to be like, I guess it doesn't feel like it. It literally does feel like they teleported actors into the game and played by the games. Nothing felt wrong. I don't know.
Well,
Even the
Cody, I
Power
want to
Armor
ask
looks
you a
right.
question. Have you seen
Okay.
Arcane or Last of Us? Like those shows?
I've not seen Last of Us. Oh, I did say the best. Arcane is amazing.
Yeah.
It's going to be hard for me to take that away. I've not watched The Last of Us yet. I do intend to, but that was the only thing. Like The Last of Us feels weird for me because I already do love the first, like Last of Us 1 and 2. And I already feel like those games specifically are on another level of like storytelling than other things. There's a lot less game. Like there is a game there, but it feels like you're playing an experience. And I'm not. That's not a bad thing or anything like that. I just feel like the story is so strong and constant in the Last of Us series that I really only remember that, and it almost feels like I ingested it and I accepted everything else.
Yeah, I mean, like I heard it's basically Last of Us is more of a straight adaptation. I ask not because I haven't watched that show either. I just ask because those are like what people consider the two gold standards. I have my own standards of what I consider the best video game adaptation. It's Detective Pikachu. But
That's good. That's a good
yeah,
Hey,
movie.
you're forgetting about the '90s Fatal Fury OVAs, buddy.
I haven't watched those yet, and
I
I
can't
really
even finish
should.
that sentence.
So
I need to watch those.
let me talk about something in this series that really just was immediately apparent, and even in like the first leaked set photo I was like, that's a very good sign, but I want to see where they go with it. And I can't wait because like again, like I've now watched like 4 or 5 different like all the Easter eggs in the Fallout series, and those motherfucking shows have still missed shit that I picked up on in the fucking, like they've still not talked about shit that I've seen. Like sure they have like the super duper mart, right? But what people haven't realized is like there is a lot of locations they walk through that are geographically inspired by other popular locations in other Fallout games. Like obviously there's the stuff that's in the California and New Vegas area that you experience. But there are straight up moments where you see like the trees in the background, and it feels like that is actually like the wasteland or something like that. You could tell that there is an aesthetic choice made with the geography in the background, the way the hills are set up. Like there's specifically an area they don't even talk about it, but there's like all these houses that are kind of like trapped under dunes up to a certain point, almost up to the roofs. And that exact layout of those buildings and that exact area was a little encampment in Fallout New Vegas that was kind of like annoying to deal with. It was just like off in the middle of the desert on its own because it was a former like neighborhood that got covered up into sand. And like it's 100% it. Like it's 100% intentional, these things. And I really just don't know how to explain it because like you're just watching it and you're like, I feel like I've seen this before, like I've been here before. And then you're like, oh holy shit, that's what that is. And again, like I said, because they follow like it feels like they treated the items and the aesthetics of the games a law more than anything. So like if there's going to be something placed on a table, if there's going to be something to read, it's already going to be what's in the universe. It's going to be like, like Grognak the Barbarian issue 4, or like the Popular Science Mimic, or other stuff like that. Like it's everywhere. There's two couriers. I can't say that.
A word.
Male people, but that's not what they actually are. The Rangers from New Vegas, the main armor on the
Rangers.
front of it, on the front cover of New Vegas. Like there's just a
Yeah,
scene
or
with
I
the
thought that was
do what
I thought that was Republic or whatever the guys were.
NCR Rangers, I believe.
Yeah.
Scouts. But like they're just in a scene. It plays a lot of like the original Fallout beats. A lot of the boy and your dog, or boy and his dog beats. They don't talk about VATS because like they really couldn't. That's the only thing you really could not do. But what they actually do is like a lot of people have like I've seen a lot of the videos pointed out like they say the ghoul character has like the bloody mess perk, which was a perk you can get in the game that just made killing somebody just over the top, like their limbs would explode into like craziness. Um, and whenever he gets into a shootout in a city that's the director said was inspired by Megaton, Diamond City, which are all scrap cities. He gets in kind of like a slow motion shootout, and so you see a lot of bullet time, which is what VATS did. So it's a great nod to it, and it works beautifully. And again, like it's definitely going to be like a what do you say, like a bias. Like I have to say there's going to be some bias there, but like maybe not, because I hit 76 with like a fucking fist, like I have always wanted 76 to be something, and I know it is now, but I really just still won't fuck with it. I can't bring myself to do it.
Yeah.
But I don't know, like it's got all the wackiness. Fucking Fred Armisen's in it, and he's like a perfect Fallout character. Like he's a new guy, but he's just like fantastic. You'd really love this. I'll have to send you the scenes with him in it. It's great. He plays like one of the radio guys. You know how like Fallout's notorious for having one or two like random lone radio hosts,
Mhm.
like Three Dog, and then like they reference another guy who's like playing like classical music. He's one of those, but he's just kind of insane. And he plays it perfectly. It feels just like a crazy NPC in the game. Nothing in this feels like it would not belong, or rather, nothing in this feels like it wasn't already in or something in the Fallout game. It really does feel like either just the main storyline and all of the characters you experience all feel as, of course, there's going to be more, and they're planning on it. And the series didn't end with all questions answered, which no issues with that either. I think it definitely is a very strong add-on and a worthy successor to some of the other games. It's definitely what we needed after 76.
Yeah. Like, I heard 76 got better, but that doesn't make the launch any better, It's like, it got better, but the launch was still bad.
It's not even about that. There was a lot of other shit that 76 did that just wasn't that good. Like because they had that whole, like, they lied about a bunch of stuff just more blatantly than Bethesda ever did.
Yikes.
Until their recent sci-fi game.
Yeah, not. I was gonna call Starfield. I don't know why I was gonna call it Spielberg.
But no,
Because they
it is.
did a lot of fibbage around that game, I think.
Yeah. Well, there was just a lot of hype about it, and then it turned out that it just was shite.
Yeah.
It just wasn't that great. It was just kind of like a wet blanket, and that's definitely not what people wanted after that. But I don't know. It really does. Like the Fallout games have always like been near and dear to me in so many. I think it was like truly the first RPG that I really sank my teeth into. Technically, it was Oblivion, which is a great one to start off on. But um, I remember playing a little bit of Oblivion and really loving it, and then the news of Fallout 3 came out, and like one of my friends said, it's like, oh, it's like Oblivion, but it looks like this, and I was like, oh, that's the only thing I want in my life, like right there. That's what I want.
It's Oblivion with robots and mech suits.
So much more than that, though, because I love that time frame. I love the music.
Yeah, no, I'm being hyperbolically glib.
The only thing, and I at this point, I trust that it's like on purpose, and there's going to be a direct reference to it in the future. The only thing that is missing is Ron Perlman's voice or some reference to it. Now the lines are delivered, and they're delivered beautifully the way they're brought into it. But his famous like "War Never Changes," but no Ron Perlman, and that he's always been.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. They really do everything right. It's not going to be serious all the time. It's not going to be not serious. It's a very strong show. Yeah, I think each episode in and of itself does something interesting. They're hour-long episodes, which feels like a lot. Or I sometimes feel like it's. I don't know. Everybody on the internet's like freaking out about it. Everybody says it's great. If you have any kind of remote interest, tune in.
Tune in, drop out.
Yeah, like this podcast.
Yeah, because we can still do some more time. Hopefully now with like the multiple hits of Mario, Sonic, and Fallout, and
Last of Us,
Cyberpunk, Edge Runners, and Arcane, we can stop getting all the think piece articles of like, will this be the one to beat the video game curse?
Oh, they're not stopping. They're not stopping, sadly. It's remember when there was a Warcraft movie?
I remember seeing that in theater.
Oh
Chris, were you
God!
there?
I wasn't.
I'm so sorry, Cody.
Apparently, that was
hate it
very
at the time.
popular in China.
Yeah, a lot of movies were pretty popular back then, and like out of country.
Yeah,
Like I remember
Transformers.
hearing about Transformers was to the point where they got like the government to like help sponsor the fourth one.
Oh, it was worse than that.
Oh really?
That's why Transformers 4 is set in the setting it is, so they can film in China.
Yeah, that's not even like for most of the movie. It's only in the third act. It's like the third act. All right, we gotta go. We have the big military base in China. I watched the movie recently.
Yeah, they actually got in a lot of trouble because they showed a popular Chinese business being destroyed, and the business was like coming after Hasbro.
Oh, that's lovely. Yeah, I mean,
Delightful.
Apparently, with Revenge of the Fallen, the people of Egypt got mad at them for all sorts of shit because.
Of course, they're gonna get mad. They're a giant robot dragged its junk all over a goddamn pyramid.
Yeah,
I was mad that they gave Devastator balls. I was like, why?
Yeah, it's a fine Devastator design minus the ball. Why did you give him? I made a video about it. Cody, have you seen my video about these shows?
I need to watch it. I really want to.
Yeah, it's 10 minutes. It's one of my longer videos, which is weird to say in the spirit of YouTube.
It's 10 minutes. It's one of my longer ones while you're sitting with a guy who has put out a 15-hour video.
Yeah.
Well, you're sitting with a guy who has not shut the fuck up for the last 20 years.
Look,
fuck off. I know I talk a lot.
I talk a lot, but I talk a lot about different things. That's my thing. I just talk a lot about different things. That's my thing, you know? And I put them in different videos because nobody's gonna click on what does Buster think about the X things for like an hour, volume 1, and it's just different mediums and shit. I don't know. I have considered doing that, but I'm like, that's not a way to grow a channel. And
I think just name it what you want. Call it what you want.
I guess, but I don't know. I'm at a point where I gotta start making money, and I'm like, I'm trying to push. I don't know, trying to push to the monetization. I'm very close. Just need to keep pushing, and I'm making like $30 on Patreon right now. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah.
I'm sorry for complaining about money. I don't know. I'm just.
No, it's all right. It's a common complaint. We all feel it.
Yeah, it's just I want to get a job, but nobody's accepting me, so I'm like, well, this is the only thing that's close to a money thing.
Only thing close to
Yeah.
possibly making money.
Yeah.
Yada 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 but yada dude.
Speaking of, I really got a hire boy go again for an editing thing.
Hire me.
Yeah, I just you
Boingo
you just been
and
busy with like a couple video essays thingy, so I'm like,
No, well, now I don't have anything anywhere near the editing stage. I gotta finish writing the big script.
yeah, the chunky one, the one you've been teasing for years at this point.
And then I got to go through it and edit it extensively, just because I'm going like it's been a while since I've gone through some of this stuff, and I want to double check and make sure it's all
Hey,
good.
if you need like a script editor, hit me up. You know.
Yeah, Cody, do you want to read the script at all?
sure.
I was
You got your
facetious because you're busy.
friends.
You're
your
busy,
friends.
man. You got your life. You don't. Yeah.
Life? No.
You have a life.
Work is. I will say that work is very like it flies by because I'm doing so much.
Yeah,
I don't ever really feel like I'm.
that's good.
That's mainly because, like I said, I think I said this last week. I'm really just doing a lot of part counts and then helping people figure out. I'm fucking loving it. Like I really am. I help the guy figure out his.
That's cool. And
And I make money off of that. Yeah,
Yeah.
like just selling parts.
Just selling parts, helping people out. You know what
I
I've
am
been
only selling things to people who need a thing.
Yeah,
I
because
need
you're
these
not
specific
you're not searching out for people to sell something. You are literally a niche specialty store, and the people who come to you know exactly what they're wanting.
Well, that's not always.
Roughly.
We do also sell. There is also a part of it where like you have the people who are like buying new campers. And again, I don't feel too bad about that because like they come in like, what do we need for our new camper? Oh, it doesn't come with a sewer hose and it doesn't come with a surge protector. Two things that you probably couldn't guess the price of. Spoiler alert: the surge protector is $230. I mean, it's a surge protector for the plug from the RV into like the main power.
Yeah, that's also probably like DC AC converter, isn't it?
It's a big boy.
Yeah, it's a big thing.
There's a lot of stuff we sell that's, but no, I mean, so it's like situations like we don't have
Yeah.
anything that's like fake or shitty or whatever.
And you're not trying to like upsell insurance or a phone plan.
Yeah. Like the only upselling I could truly do that I've like picked out so far with all the stuff that we is because again, like they don't have a problem with me telling people, it's probably better for you to get this on Amazon because it might be here quicker than our option or it's going to be a fraction of the cost and they don't really
Well,
so
because
again, that's great. I mean,
because it's also-
not about the Amazon in general.
Yeah. But I also imagine like that's in part you're building trust with them and they're like, well, if you were just honest with them then if they need something else, they could come to us and they'll go like they won't beat around the bush,
Yeah. Which thankfully I've like immediately established that with. I mean that's how I am.
Yeah.
And I am a bit knowledgeable about this stuff. It's not been in the direct RV focus. And it's not taken too long to like get that adaptation down, but
yeah.
I don't know.
I mean you're good with cars and you're handy, so it's like goes hand in hand.
You're handsome. But no, well, today for example, an older gentleman brought in his like hot rodded Model T, which I've seen a few of them, but like it's still cool to see one, especially because this guy's like, I built it from hand, and I'm like, yeah, it looks like it. It looks beautiful, and it really was. And that was not the highlight of the day because the highlight of the day was the couple that brought their fucking teacup pig into the store, and everybody expected me to just keep working like a soulless machine and like be able to hold a conversation with the customer while there's just a little piggy walking around the store snorting up and down every fucking aisle. And it was the greatest thing. It's just like snorting all the way like and it would like stop and look up at the lady walking it and she was just kind of like making a snort and then he'd make a snort. He was just a really cute pig. They're very smart. Pigs are very most people should know that pigs are like one of the smartest animals, but he was just a very in tune and personable pig.
I mean, if the documentaries are to be
today.
believed, a pig can be a sheep herder. That's what Babe taught me.
Document. But yeah, so I met a pig today.
Well, I'm glad you're happy. I'm glad you're doing good. You're thriving.
Well, I'm not thriving yet. They haven't paid me any money yet, so we'll see.
You're enjoying your moment.
I'm enjoying it, yes.
You know what I've been watching a good bit on YouTube?
What?
It's just people rebuilding like a motorcycle that is not running, and it's just going like, all right, what can we do to just get it running? And it's just the process, you know,
Yeah, the process.
the process of like troubleshooting it and figuring out what they can do to fix it, what they need to do to like all that kind of stuff. It's just like it's neat, it's problem solving, and it's also like look at these cool motorcycles and the history, because a lot of them are just
Is that why
30s
you
and 40s Harleys.
Is that why you pitched that video idea in your Discord?
Yeah, no, it's because I've been watching motorcycle videos, but also it's just I like motorcycles, and if I had money, I would have several. And because like there's, I wouldn't say they're simpler to work on, but like there's less parts, so it's easier to wrap your head around a motorcycle engine depending on the year and the era than some car engines. And it's like,
It's
you know what I mean?
a lot less to deal with.
Yeah, because
It's good.
Because most motorcycles are like 2 cylinders.
Yeah.
And there's a few that are like 4 cylinders, but they're all like V4 in lines.
I also think there's something to be said with the fact that you can sit down on like a small stool and kind of really be
right up in it.
Yeah, face to face with most of everything you're.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, it's like another step up from like a big Lego set. It's
I mean, here's the thing, Cody. Completely honest. If I had all the money in the world, we would have a garage, and you would have your project cars there, and I would have some projects, and we would just work on shit every once in a while.
I don't know what I would do if I had a car. Like, I feel like I would want to kind of do that. I don't know if I'd want to like get stuff to think about what I do.
I mean, I could just
like,
totally see you doing like a project like, dune buggy.
Oh yeah, I mean that wouldn't be hard to do.
Yeah,
but like there'd be some things where I don't know. There's only a few things I probably would have that would be like true project vehicles like that. Is like maybe like a special kind of K truck.
Yeah,
because like a few, like I want like 3 at some point. A few of them I'd probably want like professionally restored, because I want like a convertible Super Beetle and like with like a white interior. Like I know I can't do that. But then the dune buggy would be something I'd want to fuel custom.
Yeah, like I could totally see you hot rodding a dune buggy and just making it fun and goofy.
Yeah, I think of the LS swapped dune buggy that Hoonigan RIP took through San Francisco. It had like the crazy Baja suspension. It was just going over corners and stuff. But yeah, I'm sure you'd have a Honda City Turbo.
Yeah, Honda City Turbo 2 with the Moto Compo.
Just gonna drive those around. Oh, you know what I'd want to do? I'd want us to do the Gambler.
Oh fuck yeah! Let's do a Gambler.
Buster, we're gonna bring you into American the best way we know how. We're gonna bring you face to face with something that you probably never have heard of.
Wait, Cody, do you think I don't live in America?
No, I know you live in. I'm just saying.
We're talking about white boy America.
You're about to see some of the whitest motherfuckers.
Look, I've seen a
America.
lot. I've seen a lot. I've seen a lot. Don't.
Now it is a good side. So it's like, imagine people of all areas. I mean, it's not also like primarily. It's like everybody else.
Yeah.
It's like a very open community.
The main focus of their thing is to clean up the spaces they drive through. But it's essentially like it'll be like multi-mile drives or races, quotation mark. It's not necessarily like a speed race as much as it is like a get through the trail and like cover
obstacle course race.
Yeah. But the reason why it's called Gambler 500, which even this isn't really a rule, the idea is your build, which is your custom vehicle build to go off road. You can't really put more than $500 in. Now, obviously, you can, and people do, and there's people out there with like crazy shit. And now, when I say crazy shit, I'm talking Mad Max crazy shit, like city buses converted into like dual monster truck setups that people could live in to not have to really camp out there. To the fantastic mini bike races that zip through the forests. But the whole point is to like they bring stuff out there to like haul boat carcasses, because one weird thing out in the country is that people will dump old boats, old fiberglass shells in the forest, and they don't really rot. they're just out there. They'll do washing machines and all kinds of other crazy shit, and so they try to come through and clean up as much of that as possible.
While also having fun with goofy cars.
Is Boingo being hailed?
No, that was an alarm. It's 11 o'clock. Yeah.
It's analytic. But no, it's your outdoors and your automotives and your.
Hold on, I'll see
Your
if I can
funds.
get some gambler cars.
There's
The
plenty of
Showbuster.
them. That would be fun. You like camping? You ever camped,
Here's the thing.
Buster?
Not yet.
You know what I would love to do? I would love to do moto camping. Just
Like motocross camping?
like just have an adventure bike. Just pick a place, camp.
I would want an adventure ATV because I don't necessarily like push to the glamping thing. Not that I care about that. I just do like to become. And I either have to sleep on a beach or in some sand, with the tent placement, or I'll bring like an extra pad or something. There's no like camping can be very cozy. I think a lot of people think of it as roughing it. Although camping in Florida can be a lot of roughing it. It's like, oh, what is it, 85 in the middle of the.
And then the podcast ends because the recording just stopped. Have a good day, like and subscribe.